with me to the Alaska Fur Gallery. So, the Alaska Fur Gallery does have a number of locations from Anchorage to Juneau, Sitka, Denali, and several others. But more specifically in Sitka, they do have a few locations. They are killing it over there. So, I did, of course, go out to Alaska on vacation. And in Sitka, they did have a few. Now, when you come into Sitka, they do have a port where you can dock, so the ship will dock there. And once getting off, they did have one fur gallery there actually at the port, but you didn't really see it until you were kind of coming back to get on the ship. So that is a place to check out. They do have a variety of items as well, mostly scarves, but some jackets, vests, number of things, hair products, so on, so forth, or rather items that you can use in the hair, if you will, and so on and so forth. But when you get onto your bus or your transportation into town, into Sitka, they do have a shop there. So they actually have two in town, and then again one at the port that I mentioned. When you go over to the main store in town, hi Patricia, she's over at that location. She definitely gave us a lot of good service, a lot of good information to be able to check out and select your piece. Again, this is not sponsored, but I'm gonna put this here. You can definitely get it, freeze it, just so you can get her information there if that's something that you're interested in, or anything that you see coming up here. She is over at that location, and there's also a second location down the street, so it was walkable. We did go walk down. They did have a slightly different variation. There were a couple pieces I was looking for, and it wasn't there at the first location. So she said, hey, we have another store just down the street. And both my mother and I, we were like, what do you mean it's just down the street? And it was legit, it was just down the street. So maybe it's a 15-minute walk or so. We did make a few other stops along the way, and lo and behold, there was another fur gallery location. So that store seemed to be, I don't know, either just a bit bigger, maybe just a different layout, but they did have several other items to consider. Now, one, going in just in general, any fur gallery, or something to keep in mind, kids. Again, I don't have kids, so I did not run into this, but I did see that there were some, just other, tourists, other travelers who did. And what do kids want to do? They want to go in and touch everything. And this is not the place to do that, my friends. So definitely, if you're not sure, ask about what's what, or if you see something that's on display, there were certain pieces that were up, higher up. Like I said, here in Sitka location, Patricia was at one. There's another gentleman at the other location. He was able to help us there as well. And then we were able to check out some pieces, try out some pieces, and get to all the fun nitty gritty. So that is something to keep in mind. Like I said, again, about a few folks who popped in, they had kids, and they were kind of touching stuff. And, some prices, pretty much all the prices that were listed. And I don't know about you. I don't know that I would want to be responsible for sticky hands touching something that's pricey that they shouldn't have been touching there, or perhaps have been there to begin with. So something to keep in mind. Shakir. Now, you're watching Shakir's Looks Like, where I bring you all things fun, beauty, luxury, lifestyle, and yes, some travel over on Travel Tips by Kier. If you have something you're interested in, make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you're notified when I have a future upload. Something to keep in mind. Now, they did have some promotionals on certain items, some scarves, headbands, some of them so gorgeous. Some jackets, vests as well. Only thing or tricky kind of piece to it is sizing. So I did find that some of the vests or even jackets did run a little small. So I would maybe size up one, if not two sizes, if you can, depending on where you fit in the size range, or work with the managers there to be able to fit you appropriately. That's the only thing I probably wouldn't recommend or suggest is ordering online. I would definitely want to go and try to see, of course, get some solid measurements, or of course, best of best. Try it on. Go in and try it on. That is something to consider. Now, one thing I would advise probably against is going to be the bag of fur. Now, I did see at both in Sitka and in Juneau, I'm going to tap into Juneau in a minute, but in Sitka, they did have a promo there at the bag of fur. Again, they had some promos for scarves. And I was kind of like, what does this mean? And walk with me here for a minute, because it kind of didn't make sense. And then when we walked down to the other location, that particular store did have it, and basically they were kind of like the excess or like the leftover pieces from other pieces that had already been made. And if you're a seamstress or a tailor, you could perhaps get something like the bag, get nice, different fur pieces, make your collage or make your own, your own kind of piece, your own kind of thing. So once understanding it that way, I understood it. I got the creativity of it. It made sense. But if you're not a seamstress or a tailor, this is not a needle and thread with a hand situation. Like, you's gonna have to put in work. You's gonna have to put in work to be able to make that kind of situation, quote, work for you. So something to keep in mind. Now, over on the Juneau end of things, right on the strip, there of course was another Alaska fur gallery, and that one there was ran by Manny. Hi, Manny. So I will try to take a snapshot again of both their business cards so you can get in touch if you're stopping at the Juneau location. Manny was phenomenal. I mentioned I didn't even know that there would be a fur gallery over there in Juneau. Juneau stop was later on in the itinerary. And then going there stopping, they did have a couple pieces that I was actually looking for in Sitka that I wasn't able to find, and I was able to get it over at Manny's spot. So definitely let me know some of your favorite pieces of what you see. Let me know if there are certain pieces in your collection that you have that you would recommend. Are you rocking like the headbands? Are you doing like the scrunchies? Are you doing the full vest, the full jacket? Is it cold enough where you are to rock it out for a full jacket? Oh, let me know definitely down in the comments what your favorite fur pieces are, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.